Hello and welcome to the Freedym Show. This is the daily show featuring 10-minute practical, usable advice from amazing, heart-centered lifestyle entrepreneurs. Because it's not just about the money, it's about the freedom. I am Ryan Lee, your host, your teacher, your coach, your mentor, and the founder of Freedym.com, the leading online education platform for freedom-minded people just like you. If you want my special gift of my 15 years of the best income strategies, lifestyle income strategies, you can either go to the Freedym.com, Freedym.com, or text the word Freedym, Freedym, to the number 33444, and I condensed it down to just 3 pages. Look at this. I'm already off my game. My next guest has got me stammering. I can't even speak. I've known Paul Reddick for years, well over a decade. One of the smartest guys in the entrepreneurial business, sports training business, gym business, fitness business. Paul started as a baseball coach, had a lot of success online teaching baseball training, still has a very successful business there, and has now transitioned to teaching fitness professionals how to build really successful gyms. So we're going to take that information that Paul teaches for these gym owners and translate it into pretty much any business. If you want to learn more about Paul, just check out his website, milliondollargym.com. Paul, we got 10 minutes on the clock. No fluff. You ready to rock, my man?
I'm ready.
Now, I know you do a lot. You talk to your gym owners about like kind of the McDonald's method, and you have 3 kind of core things. I'm going to shut my mouth, and I'm going to let you roll.
Yeah, so the best part about all of this is why I'm doing this business, $1 Million Gym, with my partner Vince Gabriel, is because I built a business in baseball that allowed me the freedom to really do this part of building businesses and helping entrepreneurs, which I'm very passionate about. Baseball, always will be. I'm much more passionate about this. So this is really my freedom business, is where I can wake up every day and kind of do the thing that really motivates me more so than baseball has. So it flows with everything that you're talking about in the podcast. And so there's 3 things that we like to have every business owner to do. And if you do these things, you really get good at them, and you focus on them, this is going to kind of give you some room to get free and enjoy other things in life. So we talk about the what, the how, and the way. So this has been an obsession of mine for like the last 6 or 7 years of looking at businesses and the what, the how, and the way that they do things. So I always use 2 businesses as an example of what, how, and way. And I use McDonald's and I use Disney World. So I've
never heard of them, by the way.
Yeah, never heard of those 2. Yeah, not successful. So I would say if you're not going to look at McDonald's, the biggest fast food business in history, I think they're the biggest landowner in America. If you're not going to look at Disney World, the biggest single site employer, a business that simultaneously and can entertain 4 generations at one time and is growing and putting bigger things all over the world, and nobody can compete with them, you're just crazy. So here's as I love to go to these places, I study very deeply what they do. So when we're in Disney World, my wife is going, "Isn't this magical?" And my kids are going, "Mickey Mouse," and I'm going, "I'll bet you they import those from China for 30 cents a piece and upsell."
I'm the exact same way. I can't even enjoy it.
Right? Yeah, that's how my brain works. So let's get into it. So the what, the how, and the way. So the what of McDonald's is they're a hamburger-based fast food business, and when you define the what of who you are, things get a lot simpler. So when we talk with gym owners, talk with different entrepreneurs, a lot of times they struggle with what they are. Because as you've seen, I've seen, people try and be too many things to too many different people. So McDonald's made the mistake of trying, over the years, of trying to change what they did with adding pizza and other things that like didn't flow, right? If you take the hamburgers out of McDonald's, they fail. If you take the pitching out of my baseball business, it fails. If you take a lot of the core things that our business does, they fail. So organizing the what you do is kind of the function of your business. Mm-hmm. So what does your business do, right? Now, the how of your business is the systems, is how people do business with you. And I even put like brand extension and upsells in the how, because I believe that's a system. So if you, a system for McDonald's is, there's a system for ordering, getting your food. You go up, you pay, you sit down, you eat, you go to a drive-through, you eat in your car, you take it home, it's in a bag. There's a system for the fries, there's a system for this, right? Then there's also a system for the upsells, right? And there's a system for, would you like fries with that? Would you like a Coke, a shake, and all this other kind of things that complement the what. Mm-hmm. So if you could do things that complement the what, to me, I think that's a system that's part of how you do business. Now, The third part of it is the way you do business, right? And so the way you do business is really what makes everything different. Absolutely everything different. So if you take the two examples we're going to use, Burger King is a hamburger-based fast food franchise, and they do chicken sandwiches and fries and shakes and all that, right? I'll bet you if you go to Burger King and McDonald's and you take their systems manual and their upsells manual, you lay them side by side and turn the pages, you're going to find a lot of similarities. Maybe McDonald's is better in some ways, but it's not so much better as the difference in how they compete. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like how their market share. It's not that much different. But the way these businesses do business is where it all changes, right? So this is where I go into Disney, and I'll take you through the way that Disney has worked with their customers. So the way is the client experience, is how people go through your business and experience your business from the moment they hear about your business all the way through to when they're sending their friends and referring additional people to you. It's not just when they're a customer, right? So the whole experience of it, and we run into this a lot with gym owners where they feel like the experience is, we have a meetup once a month,
right?
Or we do a Tough Mudder together. That's part of an experience, but that's not really an experience. I often use an example of coffee shop. If you were to go into, you're a coffee shop guy, so if you wanted to go into a coffee shop and get coffee, what would be the most speed bump free way to do it? You would text in your order, pay. There would be someone waiting there that would hand you your coffee, and you'd walk out. Mm-hmm. Right? So what's a better experience? So sometimes coffee houses make the mistake of thinking like the banter with the barista is the experience while you're waiting 5 minutes for your coffee. So what would you trade, the banter or the 5 minutes wait? Everybody would take, you could keep your banter, just give me my coffee 5 minutes faster. So that's a customer experience where I think some businesses can think the banter is really the customer experience, where that could be part of it for sure, but are you missing what is really important to the customer in the long haul? Maybe that could be speed of delivery. In my case of getting coffee, that's important to me. So the way Disney World does business is very interesting. So there's tons of information out there on this, but they look at the entire customer experience, not just from the time someone arrived at their site and the time they left. They looked at everything that happened before they get there and everything that happened after, and tried to make it as friction-free as possible. So it started with the travel part of it. So so what people really hated about going to Disney was not being at Disney. It was getting off the plane, finding your bags, waiting 10, 15 minutes for your bags, then waiting for a shuttle to go to the rental car 15 minutes, and then waiting on the rental car line for 15 minutes, and then loading the car, and then driving to the hotel and checking in at the hotel, and that takes another 15 minutes.
Yeah, I can tell you, and as a guy with 4 kids, it's a nightmare.
Right. It's an absolute nightmare, right? Especially after they've been on a plane for a couple hours. Yeah. So here's what they did, and this is the difference between them and someone like Universal, and the difference between Burger King and a McDonald's. So they looked at that and they said, how can we eliminate that? We can't eliminate the plane ride, obviously. So what they have now is a thing called the Magical Express. And the Magical Express, you come off your plane and you just get on the bus, and the bus takes you to your hotel. And they get your bags for you. You don't have to wait for your bags. They get your bags. They load them into, I don't know if it's the same bus or a different bus. And the bags go right into your room. You never have to do that. And when you get on the bus, there's cartoons playing and stuff like there's stuff for the kids. So it's like we're arrived, because the average person, when they would go to Disney, the minute they got there, the clock started ticking, and they're paying $1,000 or plus more a day. Right. And every 5 minutes they wait, is adding up. Yeah. Right. And so then now, as the next thing that people didn't like was waiting online at the hotel, to check in. So now they invented a thing called a magic band that they send to you before you get there. So it's like a little band you wear, and now you don't check in at the hotel. You get a text message when your room is ready, and your room is there, and your bags are already in the room. So think about, they eliminated about an hour or 2 hours of miserable time, the most miserable time of the trip. And they made it, they extended the experience of people from the minute they got off the plane until the minute they got into the parks. And also, too, in those little bands, you can attach your credit card. They're your hotel room key. They're your theme park key. Right. And so you never have to pull out a wallet there, which is a very interesting concept. Yeah. So as your kids get older, don't let them because the kids can charge
Oh,
too.
they would charge everything.
Yeah.
This is powerful. Let me ask you one final question. Could you believe the 10 minutes is almost up, Paul?
Well, I got one more thing.
Oh, give it to it. Come on.
Okay. So the worst part about you know what the worst part about the whole vacation was?
What's that?
The worst part is getting the bill.
Oh,
that you would come home 30 days later, you get this $5,000-$6,000 bill. So what they did now is they started this account where you could say, okay, your trip is $3,000. How much can you put in every week? $100. Great. Put in $100 a week, and we'll book your trip now for 30 weeks from now. So now you never pay more than $100 or whatever. You decide the amount. So if it's $10 a week, you book your trip. You never pay more than that. As we know in direct response, if you say 3 payments of $19.99, people don't think $60. They think $19.99.
Right.
So now they've taken away, even when you get home, they've taken away that slight negative feeling of getting that bill. So there you go. How was that?
That was nice. And just that was probably first of all, the easiest episode I've ever done. But one last final thing. Okay. Knowing all this stuff, give me like a 1-minute overview of how can I relate this? Let's just focus on one, maybe customer experience. How can I relate this if I'm doing more of an online business?
Okay, so the biggest part of online business is not being able to touch somebody, right? Yeah. So we teach, and we practice this in our business, right? We have a kid, Andres Gonzalez, takes care of all of our customers. We have 3 types of customer service. We have reactive customer service. Somebody calls with a problem. I have a problem with my disk or my download. That's reactive, right? We have active customer service where we're constantly reaching out to our customers and talking to them about their experience, making sure everything went well, making sure everything is fine. With our mastermind members, our $1 Million Gym, we touch base every other week. Mm-hmm. So so we touch base on a phone call, text, or email. However, it's different for everybody, but we're touching base. And then there's orchestrated customer service, where the orchestrated customer service is where we are making sure that, just like the Disney went through, we're making sure that they got their downloads. We're making sure they know where to go. We're making sure every step of the way we're giving them instructions. So there's absolutely no question, because in my mind, in online business, confusion is when people switch this guy's, there's always that hurdle of this is not true. I'm online, it's not true. Any type of confusion triggers that in somebody. So I believe the way to do it is looking at their customer experience, talking to your customers, reaching out, and having kind of that, taking it offline, so to speak.
Awesome stuff. Paul, you crushed it, just like I knew you
Nice.
would. Let me mention again your site. It's milliondollargym.com. If you're interested in that, in building your fitness business or your gym, check that out, milliondollargym.com. As you can see, Paul Reddick knows his stuff. I've known the guy for over a decade. He is the real deal. And I hope you enjoyed this. This is Ryan Lee. I am going to be signing off. But have no fear, my friend. I will be back tomorrow. You know it, 7 days a week. We never stop here at the Freedym Show. And that's it. Have an amazing day. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.